Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Duo Planet, the YouTube channel where we talk all things media. For a new series, a new review series, should I say, we're back to the realm and the world of George R.R. Martin and the Game of Thrones with a very special series called A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. This is a story about a particular knight who is legend in uh, the time of Game of Thrones, Sir Duncan the Tall, who we'll get into how they're handling the tall nonsense in a moment because it is very impressive. Uh, First episode is titled The Hedge Knight. Um, Duncan is serving under a hedge knight who has died. Prior to the knight's death, he was knighted himself. So he's going to a tourney in Ashford to compete for wealth, riches, and glory. Along the way, he encounters a young little bold boy called Egg, unknown to most people at this point, but not to people that have seen the works. It is Aegon the Fifth.
Second,
I
I
think it's the
believe
fifth anyway.
he is mentioned
Uh,
in the main show.
Aegon the Fifth is obviously a king. Duncan serves as his king's guard lord commander. Most people will have heard of Duncan the Tall from when Joffrey is taunting Jaime Lannister in the show by doing by reading from the Book of Knights, which is a big book that contains all the Lord Commanders and a bunch of their deeds. Um, yeah, so those two are gonna become very buddy buddy in this. We get to see some Baratheons. Um, we get sort of we get a look into the sort of imbalance between uh noble knights and hedge knights. The difference being a hedge knight is a knight without a lord. Sort of like how a Ronin is a masterless samurai. A hedge knight is a knight without a lord to serve, and they go from place to place serving the behest of lords of that area. Uh, this episode was a lot of setup. You had to introduce characters, you had to introduce stakes, you had to introduce Duncan, and you had to sort of foreshadow that this man is tall compared to the people of Westeros. How do they accomplish this? I'm glad you asked. They shrunk everything. The sets, smaller. The food, bigger, but also smaller. The actors surrounding him, I believe the actor that portrays Duncan is like 6'5". I'm pretty sure the other actors range from like 6 foot to like 5'5". So they're using perspective and stuff to really sell that he is extraordinarily big, which he is. He's not called Duncan the Tall for nothing. But this episode, you got a nice fake out at the start where you thought that an epic title sequence was going to play like you're all used to, only for Duncan to be shitting at a rose bush tree or whatever it's called with a robin looking at him. It was a very, very good fake out. I enjoyed it. What else did we have? We had oh yeah, a bunch of sex. Or well, not a bunch of sex, a bunch of like alluding to sex, which is very Game of Thrones. Uh, so far, episode 1, I would say the acting of everyone in the show is as expected. We have a high bar set for acting in Game of Thrones shows, especially with House of the Dragon. So it's a high bar to meet. And I think that the cast so far, Duncan's actor manages to pull off the naivety of uh, Duncan the Tall. Egg is portrayed well as a little annoying little shit that he's probably gonna be. And we had a few others. We had Sir Lionel, the Laughing Storm, Sir Lionel Baratheon, who is basically probably going to become best friends with Duncan, because there's the line in the trailer of Sir Lionel saying to Duncan, "Be good, be brave, be tall." So it'll be interesting to see how they grow together, especially considering eventually it's going to have to be revealed that Egg is Aegon, and that's going to be a whole kettle of fish that they're going to have to deal with. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, it's just an all-around pretty great opening to another Game of Thrones project. I'm happy to have another one. A little bit sad that it's not House of the Dragon season 3, because House of the Dragon season 3 is on like my most anticipated show list. So yeah, I think it's a good opening. It's a strong opening. I look forward to seeing where we move going forward, and most importantly, I'm interested to see what Duncan is going to accomplish, because we get an allude in Game of Thrones that he has like several pages in the King's Guard book. So I'm curious if we're gonna see any of those deeds, and I'm hopeful we are. But yeah, what do you have to say about uh that episode, Jordan?
I want to say that it was definitely a start. I know that it like a new show, everything. It's one of those things where a new show comes in and you end up once you have a new show, it's hard to be like, oh, so how do you compare this to other shows that's in the same universe or from other shows you're watching? And this, I don't really remember. I can't really remember how House of the Dragon started. Um,
Kind of similar.
yeah,
It's a lot of set. The first like 2 episodes of House of the Dragon were a lot of like key setup,
yeah,
which it has to be, because otherwise you're not going to understand anything.
yeah, exactly. So it's like,
They have to treat you like you've never seen a Game of Thrones project or read any of the books, which most people haven't.
it's gonna be a learning curve of this show's gonna obviously give us up until we see uh, it get more added on and how it will go. But I think for now it looks good. Definitely funny to see the way that they're making him look taller. That definitely is a way to do it, and it's a very good way of doing it. They definitely got that down to a T to make him look.
Him hitting his head on that door frame was so funny,
Yeah, him
and
hitting
the
that
fact that
head.
he did it twice.
Him hitting the head was hilarious. Like you'd think he'd learn not to hit his head, but nope, nope, he did not. He just did it
Also, the
anyway.
comment of him slouching
Yes,
to appear shorter to like mask, even though it doesn't do anything. And he makes the comment of where he grew up, he was taught not to stand out.
he was taught to basically not stand out and not to. But that and then obviously you have the Baratheon guy. Just comes out with it says like the set does it? It says like the seven gave you tallness. Show it and stuff like that. So it is very good way of doing it, and I for one can't wait to see what else comes of this show and how far it will go. And we've got this until we get next season of House of the Dragon. Really, we've got this until we get that. So this is a good show to have for now until we do get that show to come out as well.
Yeah, what I would actually like is I would love for them to do a show about Sir Arthur Dane, who was the Sword of the Morning.
I don't know if it's happening anymore, but ages ago they did mention. Didn't they mention like this would probably
Because he's supposed to be one of the best swordsmen in like Westerosi history.
yeah? Didn't they
Like
mention
he
that they
is,
were planning a spin-off for John?
yeah, they were, and it was gonna be him beyond the wall and stuff.
Yeah, they were
I,
gonna
I'm more
do
I'm
a.
more happy with what they're doing now with
Mm,
like the
they
like
give him more backstory to
it's like
people.
prequels, but it's not prequels in a way. Because
They're
it's
all
like
separate
they're basically just
stories.
telling us the story of like how we got to like the Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
I am hoping, and I would like a Rob Rebellion raid.
I
Not
wouldn't
raid.
mind a show about Jon Snow over the wall,
I wouldn't mind it, but it's not on like a high
but it's
priority.
not
Like
high priority.
I would love to see a show about the like Robert Baratheon's rebellion
Mm.
with Eddard Stark and stuff. I'd love to see Arthur Dane getting his time in the light because he's an insane swordsman. Like there's so many cool characters that you can do in like Game of Thrones. I'm
There's a lot of
hoping that
stories to tell.
they are gonna do more of the stuff. Because I like fantasy, and it's hard to call it fantasy because there's not really magic, so to
There's
speak.
magic. There's magic in like in the
There's
sense
like
of
there's mysticism and shit,
yeah. It's
but
like
there's
with that
not like
woman in
pure
Game of the
magic.
Thrones. It's like that woman in Game of Thrones. She does magic, but it's not like your magic where you actually see it happen.
So I would love some more Game of Thrones stuff because it's always written well and it's always acted well, apart from season 8, which we don't talk about. But all of this is basically to buy
Because of
time for
season
George
8,
R.R. Martin.
because of season 8, I'm wondering how George R. R. Martin actually plans to finish the book.
They're basically doing all these spin-offs to buy him time so that he can write Winds of Winter, which I'm
It's not
here
like they're
for
gonna go back to the
because
show though and finish the ending.
no, they won't. But a guy could dream.
Like, imagine if they actually did that. If they actually was like, I guess we've got to finish it.
But yeah, I don't have anything else.
Neither do I. I think rating wise, I would
Ah,
give
yes,
this
rating
first
wise.
episode. I would have to give this first episode a probably like a for a start a a 7, 6 or 7,
You'd give it a what?
6 or a don't
Insert clip.
no no, not doing that, no.
I would I would give it probably an 8.
Okay, an 8. Okay. Asshole.
A 7 or an 8.
I heard it and I was like, nah.
But yeah, that is all we have for season 1, episode 1 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Episode titled The Hedge Knight. We will be back next week for season 1, episode 2, Hard Salt Beef. As always, let us know what you thought
By the way,
about the
guys,
episode.
these episodes
Down in
will
the
be out
comments
at the
below.
same time as Percy Jackson. So when Percy Jackson comes out, well, it's the final
Which
next
finishes
week.
next
so,
week. Well, tomorrow.
So yeah, about episode 1 and 2 will come out alongside. Well, no, actually no. Never mind. Scratch that. Episode 1, episode 2 of this, and the final episode of Percy will come out at the same time, and then after that it'll just be this. But then also at some point we'll because we've learned that the next Marvel show, Wonder Man, is going to be.
Would it?
What?
Episode 2 is next week on a
Yeah.
Monday. Episode 1, the final episode of
No,
Percy
I'm releasing
Jackson's
them on
tomorrow.
Wednesdays. Oh, is it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wednesdays will be
So
out the
if
same day.
yeah, episode 1 of this show will be out next Wednesday,
Episode
which
1,
is
I
when
mean.
the last episode of Percy.
Yeah, so I'm releasing these on Wednesdays, shall I say. So last episode of Percy, and then obviously episode 1 will come out, of this will come out. Wonder Man will be one video because they're all releasing out at the same time. So it'll be a season review instead of an episode review. So yeah, right, outro.
Yeah, let us know what you think in the comments below. Let us know if you want to see any of the other Game of Thrones spin-offs. Hashtag Robert's Rebellion when. As always, I've been one of your hosts, Azteral.
I'll be your host, Slasher.
Make sure to keep watching media, and we'll see you in whatever video is next. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
We escante pace.
Forget 1,000 things every day, pal. Make sure this is one of them.
It's over, Anakin!